All right, hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another discussion video here at the BitBlock. My name is Josh Thomas, and I am joined by Dan Goslin for the first time in a discussion video.
Hi, Josh Thomas, longtime listener, first-time caller.
That's a lie in and of itself. So this is a weird discussion because me and Dan are actually in the same room together, which has never happened. It's usually on Skype.
Yeah, I don't like it.
If I wanted to haul off and smack you, I could, and I will. I'll give him a
I look
backhand.
forward to it.
So this discussion is going to be all about the latest announcements that Netflix is working on a live action.
It wasn't on time?
What do you mean?
It was the latest.
Listen, it's news.
Okay.
This is news about The Legend of Zelda is going to be coming to Netflix as a live action series. Dan, go.
This is very rare. I have a reaction for you.
Okay, yes. Let's hear your reaction.
And I'm weirded out. I don't know what to expect from this. From your short reading, you said that it could be a Legend of Zelda show, kind of like Game of Thrones.
That's one of the things a lot of people are throwing around, that it could be like Game of Thrones with less violence. Now, that isn't official. That's what other websites are speculating.
Yeah.
So they're just like, oh, this could be like Game of Thrones. But now, since we don't really know anything other than the fact that it's in... First of all, Netflix apparently does this a lot.
And this is going to be a live action thing.
Yeah.
Again, is that confirmed? Do we know?
Yeah,
that?
it is confirmed that it's live action. That was one thing that was definitely mentioned.
Weird. That's weird to me.
If I were going to make a Legend of Zelda thing, I would make it look more like Wind Waker-esque, and I would get a good animation studio to do it, and I would put it in theaters.
Oh, Zelda done by the Dofus Wakfu people. That would be cool. If you
don't know who they are,
if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll show you, and you'll be like, "Oh yeah, heck yeah."
I feel like, see, for me, I kind of feel like Zelda's a little bit too big for some little like Netflix thing. Don't you feel like Zelda should be a full freaking
Yeah, and
movie?
I'm curious if Netflix was helping with this. That was one of my
I
initial
think that
reactions.
is. I think Netflix is pretty in charge of it, but obviously Nintendo is not going to let them get away with just anything. But there is so much like questions of like, is this mostly Nintendo? Did Nintendo go to Netflix?
Yeah,
did Netflix go to Nintendo?
Yeah, my first questions are, how dramatic is it going to be? That's going to kill it right away for me. If they're
too
like
dramatic?
Yeah, if it's like, oh, the blah 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 of the Nairu have not like that.
If it's too much like too much bull crap, It's not... So it is confirmed to be a series though, and it's not just like a movie, like a one-time thing. Like this would have episodes. This could go wrong in so many ways. It's dangerous.
I know, because anytime they're like, this is Link in real life, I'm like,
no, it ain't.
no, it's not. No, it is not.
For the record, though, this would, even if it was terrible, it wouldn't be the first time there was like some terrible adaptation of Nintendo characters.
Yeah.
Like, look at the Super Mario Brothers movies. Look at, there's a
Which
lot of
is
examples.
a masterpiece, by the way.
A masterpiece of what?
Oh.
No, listen. I'm going to throw this to you. How would you make it good?
This is
the question I have for you. You're in charge.
That's the biggest thing that has me confused is I don't even know what I'd want. I don't even know how to make that good. Like, right. Because you can go the whole Game of Thrones route with having all this really big production with all these great sets of Hyrule and all this stuff, but that's 5 seconds maybe of
entertainment.
Yeah.
Okay.
What beyond that? Like, what's the meat and potatoes of this thing going to even be like? Yeah, the story, especially. Like, is this going to be a Link versus Ganon? Is this going to be a side thing? Is it going to be a Tingle? Is it going to be a Tingle game? I'd be down for that.
Would you be mad if they weren't very? If they weren't very true to the series? Oh, if they didn't go deep into like knowing if they don't know their shit about this.
Don't even say that.
So you would hate that. You're not going to be like
everyone in the world would hate that.
Right. I'm worried they'll be like, well, we're going to do our own thing. We're going to tell our own stories and characters.
Okay, now I didn't even think about this until now. What about the makeups? Because there has to be Zoras and there has to be Gorons and Dekus.
There'd have to be some really good.
I could see this going in a really cool direction if they actually had a really nifty style for this stuff. If it was sort of like a Pan's Labyrinth take on what the race. Do you know what I'm talking about with that? With like the Guillermo del Toro's movies. He does monsters like the Hellboy.
Well, you know what
stuff.
I'm thinking of?
Have you seen that stuff?
No, but also, you know what is in my head? What I'm thinking is like Jim Henson's Labyrinth or like the Dark Crystal.
Yeah,
if it was like that kind of.
Oh, I'd be down with that.
That with Zelda. But unfortunately, last I heard, Jim Henson is still dead.
Can we get him on the phone anyway? Send him a fax.
Get Jim Henson on this project.
Send him a fax. Those are dead too. There's some sort of ghost communication there that can happen.
So you don't even know how you would do it.
Well, just now I had some.
It's doable. I think it is doable.
Yeah, just now I had some imagery of how it could look cool in my head. Go ahead and Google that real quick so you can see what I'm talking about there.
What is this called?
Like the Pan's Labyrinth.
Pan's Labyrinth, and this is what you want it to look like?
Yeah, well, this would be how... That's a way that I could see it done well.
Okay. Oh, okay, yeah.
Like that guy, that, I thought of a Zora, like what would a cool Zora look like in a makeup, and I was like, oh, something like that, where it's got like a whimsical style to it. That I could see being done okay, or I at least wouldn't be worried or upset right off the bat if it was like that.
For me, like what my first, like if I was in charge of making something Zelda, I would go with the Wind Waker cartoony kind of deal. This is
for live action, or would you just saying you'd make it you'd make a Wind Waker cartoon, is what you're saying?
Right. That's what I'd go for, and I'd like pitch it to Disney or Nickelodeon or something and get that on TV.
Oh, and then Google Wakfu, so you can see it.
You just want me to Google a whole bunch of
Yeah, this
crap.
is going to be the Google. Josh Googles things. This is going to be.
And probably misspells them.
No, that's fine. Yeah, so
this is what is this?
That's
this angers me that you just told me to. I'm angered that you want The Legend of Zelda on Netflix to look anything like that.
But that's I'd consider them like the most Wind Waker looking cartoon though.
Okay. But it isn't a cartoon. We do have confirmation that this will be live action.
Right, so everything you're saying is invalid, as usual. I just wanted to say.
Exactly. Do you feel that do you want it to go too dark? Like, how dark do you want it to be? So listen, you love Twilight Princess. You're in love with Twilight Princess.
I also disagree that was a dark game, though.
How is it not a dark game?
Like, they were advertising it as dark and stuff
dark.
in the...
All that, there's literally a dark world.
Referring to what?
Everything is dead and miserable.
Well, I don't know. The Twilight was more romantic and calm in my eyes.
Well, this,
that's,
we're learning more and more.
Yeah, let's not refer to my judgment in that realm anymore.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. They don't even have like a year of when this would become available. My first thought is, to me, The Legend of Zelda is massive. Hollywood is totally out of ideas. Why isn't this a movie that's going to be in theaters instead? Maybe I'm just out of touch, but to me, like Netflix series...
Seems a lot harder to do.
Netflix series sounds like budget to me. Like, oh, it's a Netflix series. Am I just out of date? Like, is this a thing that is happening now?
All the previous ones have been pretty good. Or at least successful.
So what are some of the other Netflix series?
What else did they do? Darker Than Black, I think? Or Darker Than Black. Whoops, that's a whoopsie. Black is the New Orange. Okay. Or Orange is the New Black.
And that is a successful thing.
Edit that out. And that little struggle I just had there.
We don't edit the bit block because it's effort.
Okay. Wow.
No, but and it's this.
My weeb is showing.
This is totally random. But there's a new Pee Wee Herman film coming out. And it's,
With him?
And yes.
Wow.
And it's coming out through Netflix. Like, it's a Netflix produced, like,
They're just
full movie.
If the Zelda thing doesn't get messed up, which I'm everyone I would assume is very afraid of, because of those expectations, not to mention how inappropriate it is.
Right.
But yeah, they'll be the savior of entertainment if they can pull this and a Pee-wee movie off.
And the thing is with Netflix, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here. Hulu. No, it's not going to Hulu. It's going to Netflix.
Get it right.
Bill Cosby reference for those of you who are in the end. No, but it would all become available instantly, wouldn't it? I mean, it wouldn't be like one episode at a time. It would be like, here's the whole friggin' season.
Yep.
Which is the way entertainment should be these days.
Delicious.
That's what we need. We want entertainment on demand. We don't want to like wait each week and can't wait for the new episode in 7 days.
One chicken nugget a night for you.
So that's good. Like if it's a good quality series, we can just binge watch it whenever we want. This has the potential to be super, super awesome.
A lot of gatherings are going to take place.
There you go. And I feel like Nintendo is really strict with their characters. Like, they're not just going to be like, yeah, do whatever. They're going to, like, Miyamoto's going to supervise the hell out of this. Anuma's going to supervise it. I don't think they're going to be like, yeah, that's fine. What? You're just making up your own stupid characters? Yeah, fine.
I don't know. All I can say is I feel like a Roman waiting to see some things fight to the death for my entertainment here. I am waiting to be impressed.
I can't wait until we start to hear more about it. I think we both agree Tingle needs to make an appearance.
Oh my gosh. If he's not featured at all...
He needs to be in... Yeah. Oh my gosh. This could be really...
I'm so worried. My biggest fears that I think that they'll go with, though, is making it too overdramatic. And having it take place in a place of, like, poverty Instead, you know what I mean? We're like, oh, everything's wrong, and we're all sad. I'm really
Which
worried.
Which is generally not the way Zelda is. A Legend of Zelda game. It's sort of like a small town, but there's no like poorness. It's just
hang on,
quaint.
Legend of Zelda. There's no mention of what universe this is going to be in, like Hyrule.
That's the other thing we could talk about. Like, will this
Young
will
Link,
they take
Old
the
Link,
games? Will
Young
they just
Link, and I'd like that.
What?
If they kind of incorporated a piece of every game. So, like, there was Young Link and Old Link, and we were doing time skips and having that affect the show and stuff.
What if each season was almost like referring to one of the games?
That'd be even better.
Like Majora's Mask. This season is Majora's Mask season. This next season is Skyward season.
I'd be all for that, because then you can be excited and dismissive. Like, oh, that was a bad game, I don't care anyways.
Right.
If it sucks. Because then you can be like, well, I've still got something to be excited about, because a drastic change is going to happen.
I want to see
at the end of the week.
And the other cool thing about that is because all the Zelda games are so different in style, the series would have like a different, like the Skyward Sword season would be very bright and colorful and cool,
and also very undone or very unfinished.
Well, this could be the chance
the
to
vast
tell
sky
of nothing. Well, this could be the chance to see more in the sky.
Marvel at our 10 floating meteors. There might be a treasure chest on 2 of them.
There you go. So, Dan, this is your first discussion. Typically, when we end them, the guest tells people where they can find you, where they can stalk you, where can they smell you on the internet.
Oh, at DanMox Gaming, if you are a twatter.
Twitter, by the way. That's I'll translate
thank you.
your language. Twitter, at DanMox Gaming.
And every night, I've been having some live stream parties that Josh shows up to sometimes.
I attend these if you'd like to chat.
Yeah, so he'll be in those randomly. If not, I apologize, because I know that's all you want if you show up to it. But yeah, DanMox Gaming on Twitch is where I'll be at pretty much every single weeknight.
There's an underscore somewhere there, isn't there?
Well, actually, just DanMox.
Just
DanMox on Twitch, DanMox Gaming on the Twitter.
But yeah, Dan always live streams games. You can see his face while he's live streaming.
Oh boy, you're supposed to be saying good
things. Oh, remember, it's a good thing though.
Oh.
Anyways, all the links for this stuff will be in the video description. Be sure to click it. It's always fun and random and stupid on Dan's streams, and you don't want to miss it. He's going to be playing Mega Man very soon. He's going to be taking on the original Mega Man.
Yep, never got to take on the original Mega Man. That's what I'm pretty sure I'm going to go with next. I'm going to lock it in. Be sure to scream what you'd like me to play if you care about that. Yeah. If you have an opinion, you give it to me.
I've never thought of
the opinion.
Right. Yeah. Right. Okay. Hey, Zelda. Hopefully it turns out good.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait because I'm so afraid. I need this anxiety to end.
Why does every discussion end with somebody being afraid?